How's it going today, guys? And welcome back to The Average. My name's Andrew Napier, and I have Kolton on here. I'm super excited. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Kolton?
What's going on, everybody? I'm super excited to be here. And so my name is Kolton Krottinger, and I'm an anxiety expert, 2 comma club winner, dream car winner. If you don't know, they're just these little fancy awards. But yeah, I'm just like, I've got a huge passion for people with anxiety, and I currently, well, my number's not populating because my internet keeps going in and out. But normally this says like how many people are in my groups, which is like 46,000 people, maybe close to 47,000. So yeah, that's it, man. I guess like this, I started the anxiety hacker movement, and now it's just kind of became something that is just so much bigger than myself. And so that's been that's my mission now. Like I'm not doing really anything else except anxiety hackers. So.
Definitely. I mean, I think it is kind of like a mission for all of us in this space to build a business that takes over something bigger than ourselves, because then we're always chasing a why. And if it becomes bigger than ourselves, you never have to worry about that because you know what it is. So kind of take me back to how you all got started. How, like, I know Anxiety Hackers wasn't your first business. I know it took a couple of tries, and you also did a bunch of mentorship and things like that. Like, take me back to what kind of like all started the whole online business adventure for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my dad was like an entrepreneur growing up, and I've actually never shared this story, but I've just seen my father, like he was super successful guy. Like we were never really close, but he had like a private jet, and like whenever he did see me, like, I was getting picked up in limos and all this stuff. Like I didn't really know what he did. He was in the oil and gas, but like I just knew, like, I just saw that he had like freedom to like kind of do what he wanted. And so like I grew up lucky enough to be able to just see that, to know like, hey, that's something that I want one day. And so I was like, I'm going to go to college, try to be, go to school for business, and I'll be an entrepreneur. And I lasted maybe a month and a half in college. School was just never my thing. I was like a D student. And so, I got, I think, kicked out of college, actually. I'd like to say I quit, but like, I think I got kicked out because my grades are so bad. I started working at a gas station, stocking beer, and then I got jumped one night. It was in a bad part of town. All my friends were either dying or going to jail. Like my best friends that I grew up with, I mean, they were just car crashes and DUI. I mean, they're no longer here with us, and so like I just had to get out of that situation. So I went to like Army, Air Force, Navy. Like I went to all of the offices, said, "How fast can I get out of here? How fast can I get out?" Navy said 2 weeks. I signed up, shipped out. My family was excited because they're like, because we were at a time of war. And so they were like, okay, good. Like you're going to be on a big boat somewhere far away from all the action. But then I actually ended up getting attached to like a special forces unit. But so I was like a brown water Navy, kind of like back in Vietnam, they had river rats. So I was a river rat. So they shipped me off to Somalia, and I was there for 11 months hunting pirates and protecting ships from pirates and stuff like that as they were coming in and out of the ports. And then it just kind of took its toll on me. I got in a bad boat accident, broke a couple ribs and my collarbone, hit my head, and it just really messed me up. By the time I got back, I was like really messed up, and actually ended up in a homeless shelter in Florida. And that's like, I couldn't get a job as a veteran, so like I decided to start a company helping vets. So I started a private military company. It grew to be the largest state of Florida. Franchised it in Texas, it grew to be the largest in Texas. And I was like training vets, sending them overseas. And then that company got shut down whenever the White House said, hey, we're not sending people overseas to fight wars anymore, only the military. So I lost my company overnight, ended up homeless again, living on my grandmother's couch, $20. And so I said, like, how can I get out of here? I knew it's free to put an event together on Facebook, and I lived in Texas. So I don't know how I came up with, like, I said, let's do a super soaker battle. And then I was like, let's do the world's largest. I was like, trying to come up with a catchy title. I just put world's largest, and I didn't think it was going to be that big. Went to bed. Next day, there were 10,000 people on it. Later, by Friday, there were 32,000 people saying that they were like either interested or going. All in all, I think it was about 3,000 people showed up. I started getting calls from Nestle, Hasbro, General Motors, the Dallas Cowboys, Vita Coco, all of these big companies that were wanting to sponsor my event. Got me out of debt, and I broke a world record. And then I broke another world record hosting the world's largest dog day, rented out Dr. Pepper Ballpark, and just kind of grew from there. And then built up 11 businesses that were all working together, lost all those, ended up homeless again. And then I found Expert Secrets and went to this funnel hacking live event, proposed on stage, my $20 ring, and said, hey, next year we're going to walk the stage getting this $1 million award. And then the next year we were able to do that. So here we are. And so it took like 30. So in that whole time span, it was 34 different businesses I tried to start. A lot of failures. And now it just kind of led me up to Anxiety Hackers.
Definitely. So, kind of going back to when you were hosting them world's largest events and the world record breaking events, how did that go? Like, how did that feel going from how you came out of the military, everything you just went through, to now thousands of people being like, hey, dude, you're the man, and like just the outrush of people and like the influence and everything around you? What did you have to do to like prepare yourself for that?
Man, there was no preparation because it was, I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go outside. I spent a year locked in a bedroom. Like I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't drive a car. I couldn't do anything. And so, but that's where I really figured out during that time, like, hey, if I'm going to make some money, I need to figure out how to do it with my laptop sitting in this room, because I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I can't work for anyone. I don't have a degree. I've got to figure out how to like make money online. And so, really, I didn't think about it. I was like, let me just put this event together, and then like later figure that out. But it was cool. Like whenever you have your own event and everyone there is like cheering you on and being nice to you, like it really helped me get out of my bubble to where, like, I mean, I was at the front gate, saying hi and welcoming everybody. And then as everyone was leaving, I was saying bye, and everyone was begging me to have another one. So it was great.
Definitely. Now on them events, how did you go about? Obviously, the first one was just like kind of one of them things that you threw together really quickly, and it turned out way bigger than you ever had hoped. But on the
Yeah.
second one, was there like a bunch of pre-planning that went into it to make sure like the event was hosted right and like all of that? Like, did you have to build a team and resources for all of
Oh my
that?
God. Yeah, the second one was really hard. And doing an event with dogs is really hard. I mean, I had thousands of dogs in a ballpark. I mean, if you're ever thinking about doing a dog event, big one, I would say don't do it. Dude, I'll never do an event like that again. But the first one, the first Super Soaker Battle, it kind of went viral. Like I had that one post and it kind of went viral, and so that just it sold out itself. But the dog day, I had to market it. I used Groupon and stuff. So this is where like I really learned about marketing, and how to market, and then like how you market whenever you don't have any money, because I had no money. I was still broke. And so this is where like I started like really going all in on guerrilla marketing. It's like innovative and unconventional ways. But really, like what I like to say is like, if you're broke, use guerrilla marketing to get your brand out there. It's like a broke person's marketing, but whenever it works, it really works.
Now, what do you mean by guerrilla marketing? If you could like elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, just you've got to stand out. Like just doing something weird, dude. Like I'll wear whatever I need to wear. I'll stop traffic on a highway. I'll get on a building. I'll throw stuff off a building. Like I will make a scene. I'll do whatever it takes to get some attention. So like, and that's what it's all about. If you have a great product or service, that's what you should build first. And once you have it, like, we make a Facebook post like, hey, I've got this. And we think that all these people are going to come rushing. And that's just not the way the world works. Like you've got to do stuff to get eyeballs on it. And so if you've got like a marketing agency, and we both know there's like 100 marketing agencies, and you're all running Facebook ads, like it gets expensive, it gets hard, people get screwed over, and then you try to tell them about your product and they're all weary, like, no, I've been screwed over. Like I don't like messing with any of that. And that's what like so like I posted, like I just kind of hinted that I'm getting into the CBD, and then I'll get into the marijuana business whenever it's legal here in Texas. Like I'm already starting to acquire land, and I'm going to build hemp farms. Like, so I'm looking to like just have a piece of that pie whenever it's available. And so like, and I posted on there, and this guy was like, oh, hey man, I'm going to be doing, hemp or whatever in Texas too. I hope we don't compete. And I was like, dude, I respect you, but you will never be a competitor of mine. We will never compete. I make my stuff stand out so much that, dude, I'm in a whole nother stratosphere than you. And so that's what it all comes down to. Like if I could put more effort into my marketing or more effort into making my stuff different and stand out from a crowd, that's what I'm putting all my time and effort in. Like I put less time and effort into the marketing, because whenever you make your stuff stand out, it's going to be, it'll sell itself. I mean, it becomes drastically easier to promote. And so like even the CBD, I was told not to get into the CBD industry because you see like it's all flooded. Tons of people are doing it. There's MLMs and all this. And I don't have one here, but like just by putting my gummies in a clear plastic box I have all these CBD shops wanting my products in there. And then I also made it extra strong, much stronger than the other gummies. Like, so it was like two simple tweaks. Just make your gummies stronger and make it sexy, look sexy in a box that like will stand out on a shelf, you know, because you go in a CBD store, you see all these like round bottles or a baggie and you can't even see the product. Like, that sucks. But you got your clear box. I mean, it's simple tweaks that just make the world a difference.
Definitely. Now on when you were kind of going through and starting your business and making money online, obviously you're still suffering through anxiety and working through anxiety. How did you find yourself come to marketing, like putting yourself out there? Obviously, like for me and you now is second nature. It's just something we are comfortable doing. But when you first get started, it's really not. And that's a huge comfort bubble to remove yourself from. And then dealing with anxiety on top of that is going to be one of the things that just like doubles down. Like what prompt, like how did you get through that? What was something that you did to be able to produce the results that you got, obviously?
Mm. So it's cool. I actually have this post-it note here. So you see this says star in your own movie. So what I do, and this really works, and this is probably like the biggest tactic that I use for my anxiety, and it applies to business as well. So if y'all are like watching or listening, like, oh, I don't have anxiety, this applies to your business as well. It applies to so many things. So when I had disabling anxiety to where I couldn't even go outside, like, and I was like, you know, whenever you're backed in a corner and you can't do anything for yourself, like my friends had to get my groceries, like I really couldn't do anything. I couldn't take care of myself at this point. And that's a scary place to be in. Whenever you can't take care of yourself, like, this is where a lot of people get faced with like the two decisions. Either you can give up or you've got to figure it out. And a lot of people can't figure it out. And so, like I said, it's a scary place to be in. So I just said, like, I just want to feel what it feels like to be a normal person that can just walk outside or drive a car. I just want to feel what it feels like for just a little bit so that I can have a little bit more hope when I wake up tomorrow. And so, like I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to pretend like I'm in a movie. And I'm going to be the star in my own movie, and I'm going to play the lead actor. And my role is the role of somebody who does not have anxiety. And so I'm going to wake up smiling. I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to wave to the neighbors. You know, I'm going to get in my car and try to drive it around the block or something. And I'm just going to wave to people. And I did. And so it actually took me a month to actually be able to put my car in drive. So there's a whole process to, like, every day I'm just walking a little closer, closing my eyes and visualizing. So it took me a month just to drive my car around the block. But once I was able to do it, I was waving to people and smiling, and I looked happy. I know they saw me and they were like, this guy's too happy. It's weird. Why is he waving to me? Okay. But like, and I was actually shaking. I was sweating. My chest was hurting. I was having heart palpitations. Like, I was getting kind of blurred vision and all this stuff, but I was playing the part. And I came back and I just felt like, even though it sucked inside, on the outside, I was like, hey, I was kind of that person a little bit. And then I did that every day, every single day. And originally I did it just to like maybe try to feel better. But I didn't realize I was actually rewiring my brain. So eventually I started becoming that person who just like, and I was like, and then I remember like driving and I forgot that I had anxiety. And I was like, oh shit, like, I'm sorry, excuse my language. Like, I was like, dude, I can't believe, like, I just totally forgot I had anxiety for a split second. And then, you know, and then it came back, but I just kept doing that. And so you got to be the star in your own movie and do the same thing in your business. Like, if you feel like your back's against the wall and, you know, you're marketing the heck out of yourself, but you look at your bank account and it's still at zero, like, wake up and be the star. Like, you know, and I'm telling myself, like I was doing in this call yesterday, I said, where do you see anxiety hackers being in a year? I said, I want it to be the biggest anxiety movement in the world, like the safest place anxiety. But I know, no doubt, in 12 months, it'll be there in the United States. In the United States will be the most, and he was like, how can you say that with such confidence? Like, I know, like, I promise you, like, let's look at this date, and anybody watching, call me out. A year from now, the anxiety hackers will be the largest and safest anxiety place in the United States for sure. But I want to try to get that to be in the world. And so just having like confidence in just knowing that you will do it, then you're actually going to take the steps. And I kind of got on my board. So like, we all have goals. Like I can have a goal to be the best anxiety program in the United States, but whenever we have goals, I think we just kind of aim for it. But now I don't have any goals now. You turn your goals into obstacles you must overcome. So like I must make this the biggest, movement in the United States. Like rather than like I'm shooting for it, I must do it. So every single day, like I must do the actions to make this the biggest movement. And so just kind of that little mindset shift will dramatically change everything for sure.
Definitely. Now, kind of reverting back to when you got on stage and when you proposed and everything, obviously you, at Funnel Hacking Live, being a person that is getting on stage and doing all that, but not necessarily having the success of a person that should be worthy to be on stage, quote unquote, you know what I'm talking about? How did you go into that mindset and go through all of that? Because that in itself is crazy. And then how'd you take that on to building the ClickFunnels and getting your One Comma Club, because that in itself is its own process and everything. Did you have to go through mentors? Like how did all that come about?
Right, that's a great question. So whenever I was at home, like, so I didn't even have tickets for Funnel Hacking Live, but I told, girlfriend Chelsea, I said, we just need to get out there and I want to hang out in the lobby and meet some successful people. And so so she had to waitress to get us the tickets there. We didn't have tickets back. We didn't have tickets to the event, nothing. And so I knew, but I told her, I said I was going to get on the stage. And like, before we even were there, before I even knew that I was going to propose, I told her I was going to get on that stage. I made up my mind I'm getting on that stage. And I knew that there were only a couple ways to do it. Like you got to have the $1 Million Award or the Dream Car Award. And I didn't have either one of those, didn't even have a business and 0 affiliates. And so I was like, I got to figure out something. And so I did think like, hey, I also want these people to know who I am, because if I could get all these people here, 4,000 people, 3,000 people to know who I am and have a good product, maybe they'll buy it and I could get some money to get back home. Because like I also like I wasn't just trying to build a business. I was trying to get some money to go back home. Like, like me and my wife, we had to get a Coke at Chili's. We just got one Coke because it's unlimited refills, and we just had to share the Coke and all that. Like, and we pour vodka in it just to make our own drink. So like, like we were struggling, man, and we couldn't afford the Uber from the airport. Man, we had to get someone to come pick us up. Like it was just a mess. But I said I just need to make some money. So I came up with the idea. I said, gosh, what if how can I stand out like a guerrilla marketing tactic? Like, how can I get on stage? Because even all the 2 Comma Club people, after like 300 people, like you kind of stop like, getting all enamored with every single one. Because, now it's like, okay, $1 million, okay. But like, how can I really stand out to where people just like, how can I hit people in the heart? And I like to say, hit them in the feels. This was the first time I was able to get on a plane in 6 years. And I did it because I'm chasing the dream. And so I said, because, it was such a big deal, because I said I was never going to get on a plane again. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to propose out here. So I asked like a couple people, like higher ups. I won't name drop because they totally denied me, but like high up people in ClickFunnels. I was like, hey, do you think I could maybe, I'd love to propose to my girlfriend. I'm a, Navy veteran, and, we're chasing the dream, and I believe in ClickFunnels. Like, I'd love to maybe, if there's a break or something, bring me on stage. Like, I want to propose to my girlfriend. And I got several no's, and somebody who's way up there, I asked, and she was like, no, I'm sorry. That has nothing to do with ClickFunnels and marketing. Like, that's a proposal. This is not the place for it. Like, please don't ask anymore. Like, because she found out that I asked someone else, like, please don't ask anymore. Like, this is the marketing event. And then I went above her head. I messaged Dave Woodward. And I was like, hey man, I want to do this. And he was like, let's do it. And that was it. So I got 4 no's. I got 4 no's, and my 5th one was a yes. So I just kept pushing. And then once I knew I was getting on stage, I was like, okay, I'm proposing to my wife, so I'm already going to capture all these eyeballs. So now I need to like have my statement, and I need to have a statement that really just locks people into me. And I know this might sound crazy. Like, some people are like, how can you use such a special moment like a proposal to market yourself at the same time? Like, dude, whenever you're as broke as I was, you'll do whatever you have to do. And I was doing 2 things at once. Like, I was really just trying to, I'm proposing to like my girlfriend, and I'm getting eyeballs. That's what it's all about. You got to get eyeballs on you, and then you present people as this awesome product or service. So I proposed, and I said, hey, we're broke now. But next year we'll be walking the stage getting this $1 million word. I did this with my $20 Walmart ring. And then after that, all these people were like, I'm going to follow this guy, see if he actually does it. Even haters, a lot of haters, like, I cannot wait to see this guy fail. He will not be on this stage next year. And then I came back and just started like, again, looking how I can be different from all these other marketers. Everyone like started doing these videos like, oh, I'm the best podcaster. I'm the best this. I've got this. And here's why you need to buy my Inner Circle coaching. And I was like, how about I'm at home, my electricity shut off, my Wi-Fi shut off, like my car won't start. How about I do a video and talk about this and talk about how I'm broke as hell right now, but I will figure this out. And I just started being vulnerable and transparent and letting people know like how crappy my situation was, but that I was not giving up. And so that just really kind of built the following. And then, you know, through talking to mentors, that's when I started talking to mentors, and they were like, dude, you have spent 7 years dealing with this crazy anxiety. Like, this should be your thing. Like, you're an expert in this, like, help people with it. So the rest is history.
Absolutely, dude. I love that. So kind of going into Anxiety Hackers when it started and everything, obviously I enjoyed when it first got started. I saw the pre-course, I went through everything, and it was crazy to see what it was to what it is now in just a short amount of time. How did you start grabbing it and running with it and getting everybody together and like really organizing your thoughts into a teachable way that actually worked for other people?
Man, just really having to be honest with myself and like seeing what I need to do for people. So, and first off, I just want to say, like, forever in history, like I honestly believe this will be the biggest anxiety movement, and you will forever be in history. You are the first person who has ever bought anything from Anxiety Hackers. You're the first customer, the first one to get the box, and first one to get the course. So I just want to say thank you for believing in me during that time. Cause like, man, when you get started, like, it's so hard and you work for so many months. And once you get that first person to just believe in you, like, man, that's what gives you the fire to like keep going and make it better and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like, you know, like I was partying for a while too. Like, it's just like, I had this, like, it's like once Anxiety Hackers started taking off, like I really had to like do a whole lot of self-reflecting. Like, and I will, man, I was drinking a lot ever since I got out of the Navy, but I was still able to build businesses and stuff like that. But then once I saw Anxiety Hackers, once I really got honest, like what it could be, I made the decision to quit drinking entirely, because I was like, you know what, if I can like create a successful business while I'm drinking and like being an alcoholic kind of, like, I wonder what I can do whenever I stop. And so, dude, I just put it down and I said, I'm done with it. And like, man, that's when, I mean, like, I put more effort into the courses and like, and just giving more and like making the course better. And I don't know if you've been in the course lately, but like now I'm trying to add new updates, and then I'm putting dates when I'm going to like create new content so that it really puts my feet to the fire, because like now I'm letting everyone know like, hey, on this date, I'm going to do this. And then that really just forces me to do it. But man, just like, I just been realizing like the more healthy I can be as a person, the more I can serve other people. And so if I'm like selfish and not working out, just being lazy and all this stuff, like I'm just not able to serve. Still, my numbers aren't up, but I'm not able to serve these people. So.
No, I completely understand. It's definitely comes down to the better of a person you can be, and like the more you can provide to people, it determines your business and your life structure. When you're like going through and you're building content and you're creating these videos, what's your process about going out and creating them? Like, do you sketch it all out, or are you kind of like myself where you just jump into the video, you know what you're talking about, and you just go with the flow?
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I try to plan it out, like it really messes me up. And like whenever I'm reading cue cards or reading off a teleprompter, and like even like if you look at Trump, like you can tell whenever he's talking and when he's reading from the teleprompter, like he's not good at reading from the teleprompter. He just talks like slow and monotone. But whenever he's just like free talking, like, dude, I mean, like him or hate him, he's able to captivate crowds. And so like that's what I think I'm getting good at. And with all these news interviews, I've been learning too, because the first like news interview, like I tried to read cue cards or whatever, post-it notes, and I just totally bombed it. And then after that, I just started speaking through the heart. And I was like, because they're asking me about like anxiety tips, and I was like, well, I don't need to just like hit them with bullet points. I just need to share what actually worked for me. Like that's all I need to do. And once I started doing that, like it just becomes easier. Same with content, And anxiety is still something like I still deal with. Like I still deal with it for sure. But like whenever I have anxiety and I try to do, I think I'm extra trying to like figure it out and figure out what'll help and what'll work. And I do something and it works. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go to my office and record. Then I'll just hit record and talk about this. And I'll say like, hey, I just had this panic attack. And this really helped me. And, so
Yeah, I
that's
love it,
it.
dude. So going like from anxiety hackers, I know a lot of people necessarily won't take the course. Well, they'll buy the course, they'll want to fix it, but they won't have the push to go through it. But with your planner that you give out outside of the course, that like extremely helps. But obviously, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about this guy right here. It goes really in depth. Like it's super in depth, and it obviously took a lot of time to structure and do that way. What was your planning when you came up with that? Like, how all did that come about, that book itself?
So really how this whole thing got started was like my unit in the Navy, like, dude, I somehow I got attached to a really cool unit, like where I never been on a ship. Like I was on an inflatable boat with 3 people. Like we got to do whatever we wanted, but like we went through a lot of like crazy stuff. Like we had more suicides in our unit than any other unit in the whole military. And this is even compared to big ships. And I was in a small unit, like 300 people. And I go to show like we had a lot of suicides and just a lot of stuff we were going through. And I mean, gosh, like, yeah, it was just, yeah, I won't even go through down that path, but it was bad, dude. It messed a lot of people up. And so it's like once my friends on Facebook started seeing like that I started like feeling better and doing more things, my military buddies, they were like, dude, how did you, like, what we went through? How'd you get out of this? So I just started like writing notes for them and sharing. And then my buddy shared it with like a couple other people. And then I started getting random messages, pictures of my notes. And they was like, dude, this really helped. Like, do you have anything else? And so that's how it started, was like, I just like, people were like, dude, this is like helping me. Like, can you make this more better? like, can you just like give me some more? And so that's how it all kind of started. Just sharing with friends. And then it eventually became into this. And then, the book, The Truth About Anxiety and stuff. So that's it.
Definitely. So,
go ahead.
No, you're good. So
yeah, oh, go ahead. So,
no, you can continue. Continue. Go ahead.
So it's crazy. So like whenever you started, like whenever you were like the absolute first customer, it was just like, and just by the way, you have access to like all this stuff. But now like we've blown up into so many different things. Like we have an app now, which is in the Apple store, the Android store. I'm in the middle. I'm like trying to create a hotline for people that have like extreme anxiety. Like I want a call center that people can talk to, my own call center. We've got our planner. I'm coming out with our CBD carry card to where like you can like, you can smoke CBD or whatever, and it kind of smells like pot, looks like pot, but like it's like if you get pulled over, you can hand it to a cop that says like, hey, I have anxiety, and like this is my CBD carry card, and like stuff like that. So it's not weed, it's CBD. So CBD carry card. We got our book. We've got our hemp. We've got our lavender oil, and I'm creating like this assistant, like a chat bot that people can communicate as well. So if they don't want to call the hotline, like an interactive chat bot where you can go in and say like, I'm feeling sad. I'm having family issues. I'm doing this, and it will interact with you and give you like tips and tricks in the moment. So it's called our anxiety hacker assistant, Andy. So you can always talk with Andy. Andy will always be there to help you. So it's really cool. We got our CBD oil, CBD gummies. We got our course, Tai Chi course, like swag bracelets, like Facebook groups. So it's just like really just like growing into, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Like it's just like, it just keeps getting bigger and better. And now like we might be rolling out our anxiety hacker anxiety coffee. So this is like a coffee for people that have high anxiety, to where like, like me, if I drink regular coffee, like it just runs my anxiety up. So I'm like actually like just creating stuff that really works. Like, I won't put crap out there. So that was good.
Definitely. I mean, that's how it has to be with any type of product or service. It has to work, or else you're not going to be able to get any results for your clients or yourself. Now, kind of backtracking to because personally I know your story, but backtracking to when you were going through your anxiety and you had just met your girlfriend and everything, which is your current wife, how did you go about doing that process with facing your anxiety? Because obviously starting a business is one thing, but building a relationship while suffering from anxiety is like a huge like shift for people to deal with.
Dude, man, and I could bring my wife in here right now and she'll tell you, like, I don't know how she did it. Like, because I couldn't do anything. We couldn't go on a single date. And I think she comes from a family of nurses. And so I think that she definitely saw me as this like broken thing, like for sure. And then she just wanted to take care of me and she did everything for me. Like, it's just like, I mean, it was more of like a maternal taking care of rather than a girlfriend thing. She was just, dude, I was so messed up. Like, she just saw how broken I was and she saw how, like, you know, I had nothing, I had nobody. So she was just there for me. And then it's just like, as I started having these like little wins, like we celebrated whenever I was able to go outside for and stand in the sun for 7 minutes. You know, that was a big deal. And so like we just started getting these wins, and I think, you know, she started seeing them and just kind of built from there. But gosh, dude, you know, I told her if the roles were reversed, like I would have totally broken up with her. Like I couldn't have dealt with that. Like I don't know how she did it, because like, dude, I was a mess, and I was not somebody that, I wasn't in a place to love anyone. I couldn't love myself, dude. I was feeling numb. Like, so yeah, I don't know how she did it, but she stuck with me, and now it's hopefully it's paid off a little bit more for her.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially now. But that's great. Now when you got your ClickFunnels to Comma Club award, what business was that for? What business structure? Because obviously it wasn't for anxiety hackers, because you had that pre-anxiety hackers.
Yep.
So
Real estate. So I was helping real estate agents get leads, and these were like friends of mine. So I actually did start, you know, creating like a good network of like real estate people, because that's honestly like what I thought that I was going to get into or fall back on, was like real estate. So I started studying for my real estate, like just started building a network. And then once I found ClickFunnels, I was like, man, this is easy to get leads for these people. So I just started generating leads and started an agency helping real estate agents get leads. And right after we hit this, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like at first, like all I wanted to do was make some money, but man, once you start making money and you have like clients that you don't want to work with, like, man, that was the hardest thing. So it's like we were faced with like another position, and me and my wife said it one day, like we were like, I would rather be back broke and have no money than be dealing with this. Like, it made our household just like insane, man. Like it just like, it was totally just not clean. There was no systems and processes, because I'd never learned how to do systems and processes, honestly. Like I just like, you know, I'm good at like being, you know, kind of like Russell, like just being the dancing monkey that can like, you know, promote something. Like that's what I enjoy doing. But gosh, emails and systems and scheduling, and I know like we've already been having issues with like on my end, you know. It's hard. So like it was after we hit a certain point to where we could take money and invest it into anxiety hackers, like, and we made that switch where like, and we'd save some money. We're like, okay, we can get away from this, because this is not healthy for us. I love, you know, my real estate people, but I just want to be friends with you. I don't want to work with you. So that's it. So yeah, so that was it. And then we took money, we invested into anxiety hackers, and just went all in.
definitely. So how did you go about, I know it was relatively recent, you got your Dream Car Winner Award from ClickFunnels. Obviously that's for having an affiliate army type deal, over 100 affiliates inside of ClickFunnels. How did you go about setting that up? What was your strategy on that? Because obviously that has nothing to do with anxiety hackers in itself.
So it's cool. So, you know, I like to say like we saved some money, you know, from this to be able to go into anxiety hackers, but really this, like our affiliates started taking off and giving us this recurring revenue to where I could get away from this and focus on this as well. So like what I did was, and it's kind of crazy, I got this on accident. So like we kind of accidentally fell into over 6 figures, you know? So like, what I did was I created the Entrepreneur University. I'm pretty sure you might have it as my Entrepreneur University course. And this is like all the tips and tricks that I've learned over 34 different businesses, like on how to like do all of this without spending money. Like I figured out so much stuff without spending money. So I put it in a course called the Broke Ass Entrepreneur course. Tried to sell for $1,000 in a webinar. Not one person bought it. Tried doing it 500, nobody bought it. Excuse me, 250, nobody bought it. 97, nobody bought it. Nobody buy it for $20. And so I was like, you know what, how about I just give it out for free for a little bit, just get some testimonials. And I gave it out for free. I said, okay, it's free. And then I logged in my ClickFunnels account and I saw $127 pending. I was like, what is this? And like, I was confused, and like, I was like, should I email ClickFunnels? But I was like, no, I don't want to let them know. Like, if this was an accident, I need some money right now. I'm broke. I could use that $127 to pay a bill. So I didn't say anything. And then it went up to like 300, then 750. And I was like, okay, so what's going on? So I logged in and saw that I was giving out my course for free. I was ranking my videos on YouTube, and then people were signing up for ClickFunnels through the links I had in the free course. And that's how it happened. Like, I gave my course out for free and ended up getting over 100 affiliates through it. So
that is crazy.
Yeah, so it happened by accident. And the cool thing, I'll tell you a super ninja hack. You know, like whenever we make these videos and you put it in a course that people are paying for, like you got to have those videos private and stuff like that. But it's like, what I did was, whenever I was like, well, my course is free, so how about I make all these videos public and then on YouTube, since I don't have to protect them anymore because it's free. And then how about I go in each one of those videos and I make a sexy title, and then I add a description with links to ClickFunnels and the Marketing Secrets Black Book and Traffic Secrets and all this stuff, and then make a nice description, and then like boost these videos a little bit, just a little bit, like, and just make them get some rankings and good keywords and all that. So I did all of that. So I started getting a ton of like YouTube traffic. You know, it's like, if you search, you know, how to start LLC in 2019 the easy way, I was the first video. Like, you know, 99 marketing secrets, I was the first video. Like, so I started ranking the individual videos, and then you just drive them your links.
Definitely. That's the most easiest way that I've ever heard it done ever.
Dude, it really is. And like, and I don't know why more people don't do it. Like, you gotta, once you make your course free, like a free course, like you don't have to protect it anymore. Like it's actually like, people steal my stuff all the time out of it, and I don't care. Like, all my links are in it. Like, have fun with it. So like, it's awesome, man. And a lot of those videos are outdated, like really. And so like, my affiliates are going down right now, I'm not gonna lie, but like, but I haven't, it's a course I haven't touched in over a year and a half. You know, if I actually was still pumping out content and videos, like that could still easily be, you know, I think with a little bit of work, you know, it could be something where you make 20, 30,000 a month off of, easy for sure. But, you know, now I'm all in anxiety hackers. So this really like gave us the freedom to be able to build this up. So, I love ClickFunnels.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100% there. Now on anxiety hackers and kind of like going into the cannabis, because obviously you're going to futurely pull into that market and industry. Did you find that it helped you, or did you use it personally, or is it something that people have asked you to add into the anxiety hackers program?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's something I use, and like all my friends use with anxiety, like for sure. Mimo, like, yeah. So, yeah, for purposes, I won't say like we use it to kind, like, what it's. I believe in the product.
Definitely.
Be like Bill Clinton, like I didn't inhale, you know. But no, dude, I think it's for sure. It absolutely helps with anxiety. I think where people like have a misconception of it, like giving them panic and making them paranoid and all that stuff, which is totally true. It can happen, you know, but this is all, you've got to dial into having the right type of strains and the right dosage, the right amount. Like, yeah, you do too much, you smoke too much pot, like you're going to have a little bit of anxiety. Like, you've got to do it the right way. For sure. Just like, you know, you could have like a glass of wine and just like take the edge off, or you could have like a couple bottles. It's too much. Like, I think with anything, there's like too much of anything, you know, so.
Yeah, definitely is a moderation for sure. Now kind of going into the anxiety hackers that came in the black box. So obviously I personally got the black box. I know how much time and effort you put into just doing like little trinkets and everything. But obviously there's a side of customization there, because everything had the anxiety hackers logo. Everything was branded really well. It was really well created. You even had a wax stamp on the envelope. And I was like, and never in my entire life ever seen one of them till that day. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it was so cool. How did you go about like resourcing and finding them products to make all that happen? Is it something you do personally when you're putting together these boxes, or do you have like a fulfillment center?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the cool thing, and that's what I love about this. And like, man, what you said, whatever you posted, like your positive thing about it and the testimonial, like it just really helped me want to do more of that. But yeah, I don't have a fulfillment center because I think you'd lose that. You'd lose that touch in a fulfillment center. So that is honestly the biggest hurdle that I'm trying to overcome right now with my CEO Kyle, is like how we can like more mass produce this without losing that touch. For sure, because like we bought, you know, me and my wife and like our family, like our friends, like we'd have these like working parties where people come hang out, and like I would get the bottles, like we put the lavender oil in the bottles, we put the labels on the bottles, the wax seal, like I personally did all the wax seals. Like it's like we're actually like laminating. We bought a lamination machine, we did the 50 achievements and all that. The only thing I'm outsourcing is like actually like printing the book and planner. But no, my plan was to, like, as we got to a certain size, was I wanted to get a warehouse close to the house and just hire some like high school kids or something. And like, I want this to be done like here in America. I don't want to like, you know, have some big company making this, but like some like high school kids, like putting together these boxes, they could make some money. And then like really where like myself or somebody would check the quality at the end of them and make sure, like, you know, like we actually check everything before it goes out, but have, you know, other people building this stuff for us so that, you know, we can just focus on creating more content and products. So
Definitely. Yeah, that was just something I was really curious about because, like, I've bought a lot of courses, and yours really wasn't on the higher end scale as in price range, but for the value that came with it, like, blew my mind away. I was like, holy crap, I've never seen this done. Like, it was amazing. Outside of your personal, through your personal experience through the past couple of years dealing with anxiety and pulling yourself from anxiety, is there some like key factors that you had to constantly remind yourself and constantly repeat to yourself on a day-to-day basis that have kind of stuck over the years of time, or is it kind of like progressed as your life has progressed and everything else has progressed with it?
yeah, absolutely. And this is like what I try to do in the anxiety groups is like, everyone has anxiety for different reasons. Like you have anxiety for different reasons than I do. And like for me to try to just tell everyone the same exact thing, like this is going to all work perfectly for your anxiety, I can't do that. But like what I try to do is I'm trying to get, especially with the planner, and you can kind of see like little snippets of it. I'm trying to get you to focus less on the anxiety and like beating the anxiety. And I'm trying to get you to focus more on what's on the other side of anxiety, like what you're going to achieve as you get through your anxiety, like the goals. Like we've got to see the light at the end of the tunnel somewhere so that we can start walking towards it. And so I think nothing happens to us, it happens for us. So like any bad stuff, you know, especially with this crazy pandemic we're dealing with, us, like we can either like let this take us down and break us apart right now, or we can use this time to all come together and connect and help each other and just like, you know, move the human race forward, you know, in a progressive way.
Definitely. Are you currently doing, I know I personally had to switch my marketing and everything with the Corona. Have you done any changes in the past couple of weeks because of Corona and like done any shifts?
Yeah, I am seeing, and especially like, gosh, like I already like had the cards stacked against me with like going after people with anxiety, because like people have anxiety about buying an anxiety planner, you know what I mean, or spending that $7. But now like people I think are not wanting to buy physical products as much because they know that I'm going to touch this, I'm going to put it in a mailbox and, you know, and ship it to you. And so same like with me and Amazon, like, dude, I'm usually spending like, it's like Christmas every single day. I'm usually getting a bunch of stuff on Amazon, but like now I'm not, because dude, I don't know how many people are touching it right now. And like, I'm not necessarily scared of the coronavirus, but I just don't want to get it, you know, like I don't want that in my life right now. So because I know it's just going to stop me from marketing. It's going to stop me from spreading the message for a bit. And then, and also I think it would just look bad whenever I'm going on these news stations talking about how not to be stressed about anxiety with the coronavirus. And then I get the coronavirus. That's just not a good look.
Right. Definitely not a good look. That's
What's
great.
cool? I got my N95 mask and my handy sandy. Good to go.
Yep, I gotta have a, my family called me crazy because I've had a bug out bag in my car for years, and like one of the things I stocked up on, and I have like 80 of them, is the N95 mask, and they were like, well, now I see why you had that, and I was like, see,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, everyone wants to make fun of you until you're the guy with all the stuff.
Right, right. Rather need it and not have it than have it and not need it.
Right, right. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're definitely running out of time here today in this interview. I would like for you to give a personal shout out. If anybody wants to find more about you, more about anxiety hackers, where are the best place for them to look and best places to find you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you just type in KOLT on Facebook, I'm the first one that shows up, Kolton Krottinger. And then if you just go to freeanxietyplanner.com, like it's an insane value stack. You now can get this planner free. You just cover shipping and handling. And then on top of that, I give you a 28-day anxiety challenge course that comes with it for free. And I have a free Facebook group, which is like my private inner circle. You get that as well, all for Get the Planner. So I tried to make it like a no-brainer, like just stupid amount of value up front. So that's it. But if I can ever do anything for you or your audience, just feel free to message me on Facebook.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate it, man, and I'm super happy to have you on the show. It's definitely been you've been one of the people that I've been trying to interview for a little while. I just know your schedule's been super hectic and hard to get on, but I appreciate everything that you dropped, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me personally, just buying your courses and going through all the stuff that you have taught me just outside digitally.
Wow, man, thank you so much. That means the world to me, and thank you forever for being the first person to believe in anxiety hackers. So thank you.
Definitely, man. I cannot wait to see where it goes a year from now. Like I'm all for it. I love it.
Heck yeah. Anytime you want me back, man, just let me know. I'm down always.